the criminal proceedings. He is entitled to a preliminary hearing, and at that preliminary hearing, it will be our burden to establish probable cause that he committed these crimes. And the purpose of that preliminary hearing is to ensure that we have sufficient evidence to go to a trial. We're confident that we meet that burden, and then we'll proceed with any motions. And, you mentioned mental health. I know some defendants, they've already sent in social workers to help determine that. And that's what I want them to have effective assistance of counsel for, our Constitution. And, my experience as an attorney, this is straightforward. It's just as important. Well, not only is it important to obtain a conviction, but a conviction that will withstand scrutiny on appeal, and the major question is that whether or not the effective assistance of counsel that committed and we welcome that Jeff Gray, we really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for the hard work for all of this. Now, earlier today, the FBI Director Cash Patel testified before members of the Senate shedding light on Mueller's investigation into Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin's Discord chat. Now, Discord is a site that's very popular with gamers, and they talk to each other, telling lawmakers that there are over 20 people in the chat, all of which are under investigation. Take a look.
Unfortunately, it has been leaked that there was a Discord chat, and for those unfamiliar with it, it's a gaming chat room online that the suspect participated in. So what we've already done is sort of legal process, not just on Discord, so that the information we gather is sustained and held in a evidentiary posture that we could use in prosecution should we decided to do so. And we're also going to be investigating anyone and everyone involved in that Discord chat.
Okay, very good. I see.
It's a lot more than that. We're running them all down.
It's a lot more than 20.
Yes, sir.
And you're running all of that.
Every single
one. So everyone that talks to this guy on Discord is going to be investigated by the FBI.
Up to their usual antics, throwing another while they try to scream over Cash Patel. Cash, once again, then schooled these leftist senators. Take a look at this exchange with the congenital liar, Adam Schiff.
I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of inmates. What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reforms, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate. In January 5th, you are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can get really funny for your charades. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an intellectual.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state citizens of the California.
Dude, I'm trying to do Duolingo. What's up? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm literally doing it.
Had quite the meltdown of his own, quite literally screaming over Cash Patel when he tried to speak. Take a look.
That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts.
It is my time to address your falsehoods.
Oh,
You are the
you can
parents
try all
of
you
the division
want
of this
to
country.
not say the
It is my
responsibility
time.
for what
You
you
had
all
your
said.
time.
Sir, you're
Your time is over.
Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
The
know how
people of
far
New
we've
Jersey
come
tell me
since
what my
your
time is. You can't lecture me.
You can tell me my time's over.
Maybe it's hard to
I'm
get
not
God,
doing
and I am not
Mr. Chairman.
not afraid of you.
Well, Democrats use the hearing as an excuse to throw a collective temper tantrum and scream at Cash Patel, the FBI director,
Republicans use their time productively. Take a look at these comments from South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, where he called out social media's role.
Do you have to chew with your mouth open? It's annoying, dude.
After the assassination of Charlie Kirk seems to be more for everybody. That's about the effect of social media. Do you believe that social media is one of the instruments radicalizing America and inciting violence?
Well, it's not. My belief is based on data, and the data shows that social media is wildly out of control.
Oh,
when it
oh,
comes to
oh, am I annoying you?
So what did he just say? It's got to be right.
Good Lord.
He says that social media is wildly out of control. All right, Senator Lindsey Graham is here with more. Senator, thanks for being with us. I personally, I loved it today because you know what? Adam Schiff is a liar. Look, let's put it this way. Remind me when Cash testifies to watch what I say. I mean, he didn't take any crap. I mean, they had a chance to talk about what's going on. I asked him about Hezbollah as a threat for our country. Is social media a problem, not the solution? You actually could have had a good conversation with the guy about what would make America safer, but they turned it into a joke. And Cash Patel didn't take any crap, and good for him. You know, the FBI director went through a list of people, you know, violent criminals that he and the FBI, it was beyond impressive. And we'll over in a second. And I'm just sitting there thinking, they don't care about this. These are the people that, you know, sat by it idly and quietly and told America the border's secure, the border's closed. These are the people that want to defund, dismantle, no bail laws, reimagine the police. And finally, somebody is not taking it from them as they go up there. And he's right on the ivory tower. And he's right on the ivory tower. And he gave back. He wasn't going to take it from them. I was proud of him. Yeah, no, one of the reasons we're in charge is what you saw today. America's not looking for performative art. We're hurting as a nation. You know, Charlie Kirk was killed because he was a leader of a movement that the left hates. This is not we all do it. They tried to blow Trump's head off because he's a leader of a political movement. Charlie Kirk is probably the most identified now with MAGA other than Trump in the country. So it's no accident that there was assassination attempts on the leader of this movement. But social media is out of control. But I want to read a couple things to you that really bother me. There's a post on a website on September the 3rd that said, it'd be funny if someone like Charlie Kirk got shot on September the 10th. That was on September the 3rd. On August the 6th, September 10th will be a very interesting day. This was done before September the 10th. This was in August. After the shooting, the same person said, I plead the 5th. There are a bunch of websites where they're talking about September the 10th and Charlie being killed. I want to know what's going on here. How wide is this net? Why did these people pick September 10th? What did they know? And is there something bigger going on? That's what I want. Certainly, it's a center. I feel the same way you do. A lot of that shock. This is shocking. There's about, 10 people, I think, that they're looking at this point. By the way, under Cash Patel's leadership, since he's been FBI director, 3,000 violent criminals arrested, 6,000 illegal firearms taken off the street, 4,700 child killings, 1,500 child killings arrested, been captured 4 top 10 most wanted fugitives. I would say, not sure
This will help relieve the pressure down.
Top 10 most wanted fugitives. I would say that shows that's a damn good one, Senator. Yeah, it's a very impressive record. It shows what happens when you have somebody who jumps in. They won't be by crime, but they can recognize the agency. Shows you what happens when you have a president for that unleash law enforcement to protect the American people. I'm very proud of the record. I'm proud of Cash Patel. I'm disappointed that they have made asses of themselves, but the facts don't change. FBI director, taking a different turn for me. Essentially, how do these people accept their intent and honest? How would it predict something happened after Charlie accepted that they great question, Senator. I'd say Captain Justice Kavanaugh. Sure. So, thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator. That's right here.
The reality is that the average person on the left probably didn't make the shot that somebody learned because they haven't been playing with the assault rifle since they were
As the world mourns the devastating loss of Charlie Kirk, many on the left,
This is the Mahindra Rock Sword, the side-by-side that doesn't play by the rules. The other guys think plastic can hack it. The Rock Sword buys you steel. They pull back on power. The Rock Sword packs a turbo diesel punch. And when they start breaking down, the Rock Sword's barely broken in. The Mahindra Rock Sword, built like nothing else. Our best of the field deals are here. Get 0% on select models on a new Rock Sword today.
Design and products to removal and installation. Rebound is with you through every step of your remodel. Call or visit rebound.com for your free in-house design consultation.
Who's that amazing ass with you?
woman charged and is behind bars and getting trial. Said her wife walked from her two very young children, lost their father. You might think that a national tragedy like this would inspire the people to forget their differences and focus on what is really important in life. You might expect people to be more gracious than normal. Maybe they do think the way they treat others. Unfortunately, that is not the case with this newly emerged radicalized left wing. Where now we cannot, for example, show you a tape of conspiracy peddling Rachel Maddow at MSDNC and her coverage of Charlie Kirk's assassination, or her monologue condemning political violence from a once-a-week show last night because she didn't do one. All she did was call Trump an authoritarian while briefly invoking Charlie's name doing it. While we can't play you something that we can, unfortunately, play you even more videos of hinge, vitriol, hatred, just absolute madness, and leftist reaction to Charlie Kirk's assassination.
This is not a man who breeds the murder of someone in Florida. This is how a 4-year-old works in one thing, okay?
Be less inspirational for people. Tell me I'm wrong.
right. I mean, the reality is that the average person on the left probably couldn't take a shot from 200 yards because they haven't been playing with a assault rifle since they were a little kid. Like, that is just the reality of how people on the left typically work.
How it was placed, what was on the wall. You couldn't touch it. It's got covered. Between the suspects and the suspects themselves when they were called it transitioning, calling it my love, and I'm like protecting my love. So it's this duality. The text of the assassin on touching. Wow. Anyway, the reaction of political commentator Carol Malone and the host of Isabel Brown show on the Daily Wire, Isabel new Charlie, Charlie, very big part, pretty good. I know it's been a tough time for you, but I do from all of this vitriol.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Thank you for taking the time to honor our friend and this intellectual giant that the whole country and movement is so deeply missing less than a week after he's gone. We truly
truly have a Charlie Kirk-sized hole in America and around the world today. But I'm blown away by the joy we are experiencing, seeing young people embrace faith, freedom of speech, and courage to defend conservative values on their college campuses. We've often called this a revival in the last few days, but if anything's become clear, this revival is happening in the midst of a very obvious spiritual warfare between good and evil. And as people are rejoicing in what is good and true and beautiful, the demons are getting angry in the process as well. So you're seeing these vile statements happen in the mainstream media, from other content creators on social media, from lunatic professors and teachers in the education system across our country, really across the board. But honestly, I say keep it coming. Be honest with us about where you're coming from. Be honest with us about how much hatred you have in your heart for people defending principles like the family, belief in God, and freedom of expression, because it tells us everything we need to know about the type of country we can never return to again if we want to prevent a senseless tragedy like this from happening in the future.
On the radio,
Hey, it's Beth, Rick Weavers, here to answer your question.
what's going on?
Rick?
Doing a bit. A lot of people get back to biblical concepts and principles. And that was the beauty of the message tonight. As I went the whole tapes of Charlie this weekend, he's the open guy, encouraging people to all life, go to church, find the church. Men should respect women, they should pay for dinner, be respectful. Culture, don't be the good
You're absolutely correct. And Charlie's faith was what inspired all of us who were so privileged to know him more than anything. This fight, we realized, was so much bigger than electing a great president of the United States or reviving conservative political principles. It was about inspiring a generation in a culture telling you to run away from God, to instead seek Him, to know His truth, and to have peace with your location in the world, to tell the truth to the world, rejecting that concept. It's His greatest legacy, and to see how many young people today went to church for the first time last weekend, prayed for the first time this week, for just a violent.
Yeah, he showed me. Crazy stuff. Got beat up by a girl. I said to him, "You have to come up with a good story for that."
Turning point numbers as well.
Hey, thank you so much for having us on, Sean. To Isabel's point, this is not Republican versus Democrat. This is not, it's clearly versus evil, and I'm so sickened by disgusting comments of people, whether it is the left-wing media, whether it's politicians who are in elected positions, whether it's people in our own communities on social media, completely dehumanizing a titan or warrior the way Charlie Kirk was. And, a family still mourns, a country still mourns. We have not seen this level of hate, hateful rhetoric, in decades, I believe. And it's all coming out now. And those culture wars are exactly what we're every day. And I'm so sickened at the moral rock that this country has shown us over the left-wing people of this country have shown us over the last few days after this horrific assassination.
Yeah, we've seen absolutely and on the other side, we've seen all these people so much good standing up and passion and conviction. I don't think that today calculate the impact and magnitude that this event will have with the prism of history on your generation. I just don't think today, way beyond. Catalina, thank you. And thank you so much. Appreciate you being with us. All right, coming up right here next tonight on Hannity. Comanchetti supporters gathering today, cheering as the judge dropped no charges against him. This, a legal study found
Explaining and preaching people that would justify killing people over political differences. He'll explain. Charlie Kirk's longtime pastor, who married Charlie and Erica, will join us next to explain how the world.
Why are these people okay with it? When you hate someone, it's like anything poison, I hope that they will die. That's what hate does for you.
This, meanwhile, as the NYPD warning that business leaders, political figures may have an increased risk in our reaction to some of those Jonathan Jonathan, let me explain this absurd phenomenon, celebrating assassin. Sean, as psychotherapist, I have to say it's hard to get in the head of these killers, whether it's known or violent. But I will say that when you spend years half the country, someone who votes the opposite way as you, that person becomes demonized, they become a villain, and it makes sense that it's fine as a killer, but this person has to be eliminated. You saw that at this press conference today with the PA, when he was talking about Rocky. He actually said this person is evil and he's eliminated. So we have a very sick culture that needs to be addressed. So Nazi, fascist, racist, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, it's having an impact. Sadly, it is, and it's become the norm. Sean, after Kirk was assassinated, I was at the local grocery store here in New York, and I overheard two cashiers speaking, and they were celebrating the killing, the assassination of Kirk. So you have to wonder, how did you get to the point where people are celebrating the death, the murder, the assassination itself? Years ago, it was confined to the dark corners of the internet, and now it's right in the grocery store where everyone goes. Yeah, it's serious. Ron McCoy, he also officiated the wedding of Charlie and Erica. Thank you, Pastor, for all this. First of all, how is Erica? How are the families doing? Remarkably well, John. Erica is, my God, she's as strong as can be. She's a lioness. The children are being cared for. Everybody is just coming from all over the world, trying to support and bless them. There's a lot of love for that family, a lot of prayers. That's what's holding them. I'll tell you, Pastor, I've been speaking probably on radio, TV for many times. I don't think I can pull off what she pulled off last Friday.
That guy's the tallest guy in the room.
Delivering safe food, free love, and water to your food and house. It's going on. It's gotten on too.
Christendom for years, and I would look at Erica, the modern day development. She is as strong, if not stronger, than Charlie, and her presentation that night, her sharing with the world, so powerful, so profound, so sweet. But they were a wonderful couple. And she agreed with Charlie, and Charlie told her. As a pastor, I've got to imagine, as I'm a pastor, watching tapes of Charlie every week, and as I refer to it, encouraging young people to go to church, encouraging young people to get swept up culture, encouraging young people to like either mess up, and validating young people's views, even though they feel uncomfortable prior to this in a hostile environment at an observation center at the university, speak out the way that he did. Pretty inspirational. I imagine conversation about his mission and how courageous he was in doing it. I've always believed that Charlie was the most misunderstood missionary in Christendom. Everyone said he was full. He saw politics as an on-ramp to faith in Christ. He would always say to me, we can get the young people in the streams of liberty, pursuing the ultimate comfort source, which is
way to truth to life. And 2 Corinthians 3:17 says, we're the spirit of the Lord to liberty. So he would speak into their lives because this is the first generation that is saddled with one of the previous generations and is disillusioned. They're upset with big government. And Charlie would say, look, it's all right to be upset with big government and distrust big government. But don't allow your distrust of big government to exceed your trust in God. And he would always put his faith forward to encourage them. He wanted for them what he had was a happy marriage and father, which is the most important thing in life. And that's what he told every day. And he's accused of hate speech. And Charlie never, he was civil. And he put his detractors to the front. He can't be accused of hate speech. They just hated his speech. He built Turning Point on nothing more than the power of the spoken word. You're a fascist, you're a racist. Can you please give me one example? You're a fascist, you're a racist. Do you have any examples? Checkmate Charlie, he did it with a smile. Pastor, thank you for what you're doing for this family. Thank you for the encouragement and support you gave Charlie throughout his life. So he would fulfill a very much higher calling and important purpose of this life. If I could just say thank you because you gave my friend a platform so that they could see the wonderful man he was. And I'm so grateful to you, John. God bless you. God bless your eyes. The more I got to know, the more I started to think I'm on Pastor, thank you. I'm excited to hear about that.
The choice for New York City. We saw so many differences. I don't know how you whitewash that away. Speaking of me, and many of I think it's not just Democrats who say, never stand up for our rights. We do that. It's what you're hardwired to do or fight.
Governor got the local for months refusing to endorse New York City mayoral candidates for Commonwealth Party. Now changing the tune is Chuck Schumer next. We'll explain for that.
Turn money.
Said that they've had the disagreements about not even shares her commitment to a New York where children grow up is safe in their neighborhoods where opportunities within reach for every family. He also said that they talked about the need to fight for the rise of anti-Semitism. Yet, doing an interview with the New York Times while Donnie threatened to direct the NYPD, the guy that wants to defund and put in social workers in terms of police, when he would instruct the NYPD to arrest the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, he came to the city. Can't make that up. And tonight, Governor Hochul refused to return the favor and back her campaign for governor. Next November, that's coming next November, at least for the time being. Here's reaction to host of Outfit Run Show. Travis, is Schumer next? Gonna get into the pressure? I think it's the best thing that can happen to the Republican Party, Sean. And I understand out in New York City right now. I was out to dinner last night at the restaurant owner. He sat at the table and he said, I can't believe this is where we are. That this could be the choice for mayor. But I just got on Donnie, and I think the reason Schumer and Hochul have been known as evil doors is because he's going to become a base of the Democrat Party for his term. It's not a good look for the Democrat Party. I think it will alienate a lot of middle-of-the-road voters. And I suspect that eventually, Sean, and everybody will get in line behind him because, as you well know, as soon as politicians realize somebody known as Mamdani is a big favorite, they decide to go ahead and run the favorite horse across the finish line. I think that's what you're seeing people like that vote to get in line behind him. So the New York Times sample had about over 20 hours close. Curtis Lee in third, close third. With all that said, they don't see that. Yeah, no Chuck Schumer scared to death, but she will be there. If she does, I think she will support it, and I agree with that. So, Chuck Schumer's done. Yeah, I think you're 100% right. Here's what I'm trying to do that I think candidate. So I'm going to watch it up in New York City area. It could be the worst thing for New York City, and to mid-September right now. Voting starts soon. And as long as there's 3 people running against Mondani, he's going to win. And part of Deshaun feels like this is what we need to see the Democrats have to deal with. The consequences of their own choices. They made an awful choice. They have made a socialist, communist, in a city that thrives on capitalism. I think you're going to see a lot of people, very wealthy New Yorkers say, I'm going to relocate Florida, Tennessee, places where there's no state income tax, where all of them can say, the longer that you come visit New York City, you don't have to pay your money. No, I think you're right. That's all that's going to happen. I'm torn a little bit, but I choose to live there.
Right here, right away. Right, I'm a Blue Cross Blue Shield. Turbo hybrid is best in class at VG. Kia, live that inspires.
Force Factor Hair Growth Accelerator promotes thicker, fuller, healthier hair in just 3 weeks. Hair Growth Accelerator contains clinically studied key ingredients that quickly accelerates hair growth and reduces fine lines and wrinkles. Search Amazon now for Force Factor Hair Growth Accelerator.
Much of my career has been working in construction and I worked outdoors with horses. That active lifestyle was caused my body to hurt. I didn't want to let this affect my family or my life, and that's what motivated me to create a team to build a single patch. Clinically shown that over 85% of people in 72 hours almost have been significant ice. It's drug-free. You can see the much faster. Temperature, shoulder, just say this pass. When I see my pass, it's during the I asked to try this today. Stop by the the pack works. Last year, American Legion wireless provider spent $12 million on advertising and promotion filled with the they hired me to make their commercials on my consequently, they can offer you unlimited talk and you data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. You can keep paying for it. If you want more, you can start saving some real money when you switch to Pure Talk. The thing you need, nothing you don't. Ice work fast, makes it last. Ice cream, you're so fast.
Feature of these fruits and vegetables full service. When you start pulling on some of the trees, you'll notice the natural teamwork that makes it so powerful. About the feature of carrot, dry fruit, perceive it as feature fruitless. Every apple or carrot is fluctuations as much as thousands of trees. In other words, the probiotic fruits and vegetables are color, taste, smell, and your body. These phytonutrients are lost. Fruits and veggie supplements have third-party ingredients of 100% phytonutrients packed into every capsule. Here at Vods Nature, we don't try to mimic nature, we simply let nature do its job. That way, those isolated parts, you experience the full range of naturally occurring phytonutrients. Claim this offer by using discount code VOX2.
Corruption.
unfortunately, that's all the time I'd love to see you. As always, thank you for being with us. Thank you for making the show possible. Please send me else you never have heard ever. Visit us anytime, every time, all the time. Boxes.com, Happy.com, and let I don't know, tell me that on my face. Thank you for being with us. Have a great day. Thank you. Thanks. Sorry about the strange odor today. Everyone. Former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg now says that Kamala Harris should not have run. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I just read that. She should not have run. So glad to do that as a story. That's hitting the financial skills. Instead of private jets, Joe's been spotted on his lap in the first-class cabin of flights, which, according to him, is a great way to hide your phone. Meanwhile, at least one organization tried to negotiate a lower rate for Joe's speaking gigs. They offered with one round-trip Amtrak ticket a set of complimentary Japans and a case of Sure. But Joe's agent keeps stressing that Joe's a limited time offer. Time's running out. Just don't know when. Worse, when Biden left office, he told friends he needs to pay $800,000 in debt, which coincidentally is the same amount required for sneaking. I know. But to raise the money, he's planning to sell his car. Joe Biden has retired from a teaching job and started a new unpaid position at a think tank, while Kamala will be sleeping it off in a drunk tank. Good news, though, Joe is also currently working on a book. It's called Old Man and the Bee. And finally, Hunter Biden told the judge that he has suffered a significant downturn in his income that has debt in the millions of dollars range. True, it's gotten so bad that he possessed his crack pipe. In the dog, a free diver from Malaysia held his breath underwater for an incredible 29 minutes, shattering the previous record held by Joy Behar's last. So Charlie Kirk's assassination has revealed something we already knew. The Democrats have always been planning. I make a heavy race joke, but in this case, they're the assholes. Consider the trend. Never something terrible happens. They do one. They're glued on reality. This Nancy Pelosi is struggling to hit them. They could never know the issue was their policies. It's like there were directions on a shampoo bottle. They let more criminals enter, touring San Quentin. I know. There were no-show on the border in Blizzard City had to be rescued by the very man they hated. Blue cities let mass transit use the mass anarchy for the line as if simply enjoying the scent of fresh air. With trans, they did nothing. Stood up and let the crazies know that boys are boys and girls are girls. And then and here, the assassination of a free speech hero, they scramble for cover like cockroaches will do when you shine a light on. They could say, murder, and just leave it at that. But no, that's bad. However, they just keep in mind. College becomes nothing more than a shovel.
That's when creativity
Advisors work. Survive. Strategy. Among twists and turns. Replying to leading innovative. Together, let's accelerate.
Hey, you call it very firm and laundering birth.
Sure.
The right has always been the provide orders. Unanimously against all crimes. It's possible. It allows us to die.
inspired. And plus,
Big bumps. Mirage, like cities with like Mad Max. You're going secure orders cool. Control the villain eye. That's what we can do. This is so now we can split two nations. One country within, which is a thinking, everything, which is bad. Which is what I was in how the world. While we see people are trying to go back to Charter's bullshit. Everyone's goodbye. No, each guy was like short. First level. Sorry, I think it's just beginning. St. Patrick's Day. She's at one back. Instead of New York Times bestseller album. He doesn't know the meaning of the words step ladder. New York Times bestseller album. Talking on the show. First of all, don't wear your jacket. You look like you're a guy on a Saturday morning infomercial selling non-stick pants. That's it? Yes. I bet you did the street footwear. Yeah, and that was totally voluntary. That didn't do with we have not talked at all, right? Since this horrible tragedy, crime occurred, and I'm very curious. You're an optimist. You see the glass half full. Where's the glass? Well, you know what? I'm so glad I have been around here because I'm doing shows this weekend. Were you at comedy shows this weekend? Because we have been, and I think we're still in shock. You have to acknowledge we're in shock. You know, usually you look back later and you're like, wow, I was like, what are we doing? And so it's actually easier to do comedy shows than even on Fox News because I didn't want to be talking about the same old issues. Yeah. And that's why it's been great to kind of tune in with you. You've been mentioning this. You can't go back to the old audience. You can't just sit down and say, oh, well, it's the big, it's ridiculous. And so we were in shock for the senseless murder. But then it was double shock. I was trying to avoid social media and stuff. But then I finally did. Then you see people and they're reacting in such a bizarre way. Yeah. Like they're not human. Yeah. So it was like double shock. So I'm glad that I wasn't around here, but you know, I've been kind of getting back into it. And the interesting thing
You tweet out this story like on those right now. Such a great and interesting message because he was saying what I was feeling when I was shot was here's what he was saying. We all know what happened. It's not time to like what's gonna happen here. This stuff's gonna happen. We all know it. So he's talking about the idea that we're not going back, like you just said. We're not going to go back to the old darkness. We're not going to listen to this nonsense anymore. Because in the past, what the trend most of the might be right. But like Loki said, I love they want to feel the difference in unity and fealty. They wanted everyone to say, you know, now I'm going to play it by your rules. Now we can. That's why it's amazing that when you look at these comments, I'm talking about the real fun. Yeah, the people who were seeing people and they were saying, look, one thing I'll say about him is that he wasn't debating positive. Yeah. He wasn't debating, but come together to a mutual agreement. That's not debating. Debating is not mutual. Debating is ideas against other ideas. You want to win the people. I think that's why we love debate so much. People come to an agreement. That's because that's war. That's negotiation. So that doesn't understand the difference between our economic war.
Steve, welcome back. What are your thoughts on this? You know, you're also a comedian, and what's what you playing? So I play late.
I think it's one of those, you know, moments that on the brain where it's like I don't forget that day, and you know, you're kind of like, I look at that day, I don't forget that day. I would like that. Second effect. And after watching it all from that third-time perspective, I think they got it wrong. I think the Democrats, this happened because the Democrats have a left wing regime. That's my thought process. Yeah. To the point, there was no rioting. Yeah. There was no mayhem. And or there was rioting. I'm not going to say this, but there was rioting in Minnesota, there was rioting in Philadelphia. And everything but the Target stores was all taken out except for the country music. So what you're saying is it was Koreans. Yeah, hey, the last word of the Koreans one was what's up, buddy? My brother Chris is talking about our favorite puzzle game, Royal King. People who realize they're in a negative bubble, like except for the country music scene. So what you're saying is it was Koreans. Yeah, hey, the last word of the Koreans one word they got like rights. That's funny. Kat, it's impossible to reach people who realize they're in a negative bubble. Like, I keep thinking it from an idealist perspective that there's a lot of people that just want to let go of this stuff, that are on the other side, that want to be But can
I think that some can. I think that there, of course, would agree that not all Democrats are celebrating this. Oh, of course, right? There are, but I would say maybe the loudest, more disgusting voices are making it that sense of the attention. And there was just a lot of ABC things that sounded text messages touching.
This is government.
To think that I don't find this touching. Yes. I don't think it's a normal response.
It made it sound like it was a Hallmark Channel romance.
So I think, and I've thought about this a lot, and I understand and I understand the stuff that people right, because it's difficult to have a conversation because it's all about adjustment. And you might notice all that you have to know that it doesn't represent everyone. If you think, as I'm thinking, if you that time was all about having conversations with people even when you disagree, then you should want to do that even if it's hard. And again, I'm talking about doing it as possible. We can tackle it. But then I do understand things.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of that you want to have a conversation with them with murder.
something with this behavior, and there is still a responsibility, and they want to start. We have to pull that language back. Say it to that. This take out. When you say, well, that's racist, people that are actually doing these things, people on the left are not that bad. But when you say it all the left, well, that's not me. So you're including me, so then you're going to fight back. So what we have to get is, the one of the things that they like, what we're seeing now is that this generation that seems to be the ones who do it right, at what point they think, because they were children in school systems being groomed to think this way. And now, what happens in any situation, when someone is abused and groomed, eventually they age out and they move on to the next group. Then you have this group of lost young men who fought for one thing. They're not this way. They're abused them up and they go back to where they think they matter and see where they feel like there's one left. There's a soul not to be right. We have to do the one thing we can do as the party in control right now is go back to one. They loved it, they wanted to take this. But we can the Supreme Court say, yes, you have reason. But if you are a politician and you are willing to represent others, and you label that side bias or inside bias, you should have an outlet for that. You can say what you want to say. If I sit up and say, well, I'm something that you for gospel, no, it's true. And it's something in society that whatever I say, they believe is gospel. And they don't want to get in the game of stopping matches or whatever not people are involved. There needs to be and you're responsible. You have to look at it and the consequences of the work you do with that. The senator can come and say, oh, yeah, I didn't agree with it. I think it's wrong. I never do not even know they come out. Yeah, it's all the individuals to stop lying. Excellent point. Contracting code experiencing unexplained health symptoms. They may be related to the virus or the advice provided to safeguard us. Here's Dr. Peter McCullough, medical specialist at World Health reporting on pandemic illnesses. How much people are possible to still suffer unexplained symptoms of studies show that factors out fatigue, skin tone, shortness of breath, headaches, lightheadedness, and more. You should consider Spike Detox. This clinical grade, natural detoxifier that actually breaks down the dangerous spike protein cutting inside you, and for the first time, it's available outside of clinic.
Are you married to a teacher or another educational employee? You and your family may be eligible for exclusive uninsured savings and benefits from Plymouth Rock's Teachers Insurance. Get a quote today and see how much being married to a teacher could save you.
Really, single care crushes the customer acquisition rate almost as much as impression can.
Single identity for saving through single care. Outside of expert training, the crisis takes us to the hospital. That's a check.
Doctors recommend food with gentle application. It's so gentle, not let's drink right. It's water and skin. It's softness and easy to melt. Not good for perspective.
Force Factor Hair Growth Accelerator promotes thicker, fuller, healthier hair in just 3 weeks. Hair Growth Accelerator contains a clinically studied key ingredient that quickly accelerates hair growth and reduces fine lines and wrinkles. Search Amazon now for Force Factor Hair Growth Accelerator.
When I started whole body classes, I think I tried all these fancy previous classes with folks. But what Daryl does is match the way I know. He not only creates it, it's not such a thing everywhere.
Brains are incredible, but everything can be complicated. That's why we created new It supports your short-term, long-term, and long-term. Take it from me. An elephant never forgets. Remember the rainbow.
Jamie Ben's on front cover. India's first interview since Charlie Kirk's death. Hoping the only assassinations to happen across America. Jesse's must see one-on-one tomorrow.
What happened? Chris, you're gonna have our local filter. So Chris, tell us how we filter is different from the other touch market.
With lead filters patented for technology, there are no gaps, no openings, no place for breathing in it at all. And we install lead filter on your existing company. It's a permanent solution. You'll never have to climb a ladder and get on your covers again.
That's amazing, Chris. Tell me what product that.
Simply, give us a call, set up an appointment, come got respect. If they're sagging, we'll repair them. If they're broken, we'll replace them. If they're in good shape, we'll rebuild them. Build it as well.
Wow, I understand you have a lifetime no loss guarantee.
We do. It's actually a lifetime free no loss guarantee.
And I'll just get mine in the phone, so how do you sign up?
Schedule a quick inspection. 833 Leaf Filter today. Or email us 305. Leaffilter.com.
Diffuse on inside of GLP-1 weight loss medication. 95% of LifeMD patients said starting their weight loss journey was a simple, straightforward process. See the lowest prices available, with or without insurance, who will open, setback, and more at GetLifeMD.com. Nearly 96% of patients will recommend the LifeMD program to other people who want to lose weight. Visit GetLifeMD.com and check your eligibility for a $0 copay. Get started today.
A story in 5 words.
All expired over Steve Martin was the big center internet. 6 inspired was made on the side. Yeah, that's not that. She did this multi-post thread. I don't get into it where she debates Charlie. She misquotes him, makes him sound like a racist. Then she gets canned. You're seeing a lot of this where people are actually being held accountable for their words and being fired by their employer. What is what happening? They don't want their life. Maybe this year. But, so you kind of see, I don't know, it's like the pendulum gets swung back. To like, like they that's right, they started this. I mean, if I was, how bad it has to be for a black Washington Post. It's like, that's how bad, it's like, there should be a scale of like, oh my god, that's how bad what you said was. But it's like, it's really enough for me. It's like, you guys know this, and when it's, yes, you have to prove this, yes, you're not the intelligent and say what you like. But when you do it under the tether or association to a corporation, well, they have the decision to make one. Ask Roseanne Barr, ask Megan Kelly. Megan Kelly discussed blackface. She didn't do blackface. She discussed it. Got fired for discussing blackface. Katie Fallon, Sarah Silver, Howard Stern, Justin Trudeau, they all did blackface. And nothing happened to them. And speaking of blackface, Canada's fault. You shouldn't be like, I can't unless you speaks, but whoever you work for can make that decision in a capitalistic market economy. Fox the markets in the contract by saying something stupid. Like, I think there's a missing point here when it comes to the conversation. Like, you can think about trying to president.
It's insane. It is so harmful. It's so wrong. And it was very, very good. And I think it's taking a lot of time to people. He might realize that.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you drive a car, you don't care about the vaccines. It's a harmful difference. Yeah, I'm tired of it. It is. We're seeing it's like the beginning of a mutually assured disruption. So if you guys do this to us, you would affect you and then you can stop. Well, what promise about this is Charlie, you want we'll fire you. You would say they have the right to say, but you work for a company. And the one thing yes. Now, yes, you black hair go get fired? Yes. That shit happens. Yes. You want to work for a company that wants to stay like that. They register the NATO 17 or these white states, they have to have ass. And when I keep saying white American, when you're tired, we're starting to see that. Racism is not based on a certain color. If you're black, you can be racist. You can say horrible things. If you're white, there's something like there's you know.
said that we were concerned over these salaries because these are people who are getting education and healthcare government, and it's not too far. No, maybe it's a good thing that you're far right. You don't want teachers saying, no, and everyone else reading all that podcast. So, Tyrus, I'm going to say, no matter what you, whatever say, I would always stick up for you. As long as I come to my black So a bunch of folks who they printed their policy, after they fired her, they said that people working for Washington Post, they have to remain, so that the average reader finds them objective. Well, they fired 90% of their staff. Yeah. We're quitting it because of Bezos is changing the format and everything like that, so who knows? Yeah, but I'm less concerned about the second stuff. I don't want to deal with that. What I'm concerned with is that they think they can say these things in public. Yeah. This story of this doctor said at the nurse's station he was glad that Charlie Kirk was killed. Yeah. He's a doctor. He's a guy who, when people get a shot, it's his job to save them. He's comfortable saying that to nurses. So when you get into the details of the point and what they're doing, and say, why do they can say this? It's inhuman. People talk about, Elon Musk has said it, you kind of talked about the idea of people living in simulation. How are we living in a simulation? People are not living in simulation. They're living in the real world. But that makes sense. People's minds were in the real world, but their bodies were stuck in the computer. We're in the their bodies in the world, our minds are stuck in cyberspace. And people are they're treating them as this is another guy. Yeah, it's social media. It's not a real person. It's a big job. We stayed 5 orders and advocated for their needs going forward. They were outside the question and understood that through our programs and areas, we improve anything is possible. Learn more at warriorprojects.org/prevent. How does fresh make healthy food for dogs? The same way they healthy food for people. Processed fresh, shipped fresh, and crafted new recipes for the vet developed and protein pack. Because your dog deserves fresh healthy food just like you. Fresh healthy food fresh from the fridge. The human brain, it consistently listens to facts. She believes she's under constant surveillance. The patient is in control of his involved. Legislate on TV. Bring your products. Check your local listings. Understand how Easy Extra reduces stress and anxiety and improves the boost talking about sports weekend. Why amazing Extra contains clinically studied KSM 66 Extra. Flush the ball water. Easy Extra. If you're like I was, you're tired of worn out plastic mats under your office chair. They dent and crack, and they're uncomfortable to roll on. I found a cleaning alternative, a glass chair by Vods. I liked it so much, I bought it. I'm Jordan, the president of Vods. Our glass chair mats are made of super strong glass and protected with a nano coating, so you'll always get a smooth, easy glide. And they're beautiful. Tired of replacing plastic? I promise, this is the last chair mat you will need. And we give you a lifetime warranty. Comfort, style, durability. A Vods glass chair mat will completely transform your workspace. Home office or office office. We stock 18 popular sizes, and we ship free anywhere in the lower 48. Get the look you deserve. I invite you to shop online at Vods.com. Use promo code TV and save 10% on any glass chair mat at Vods.com.
I'm going to have a big over. What is a spot gutter? Spot fascia, spot soffit, mildew, mold, The first thing we're going to do is freshly clean out all the gutters, recline them. All our leak filter systems that allow nothing to harm. Just give us a call, set up an appointment, we'll come out and give you a free gutter. Visit Samples.com or call 1-800-SAMPLES.
Sometimes our first line was against sensitivity. When people experience sensitivity, they're experiencing an exposed layer, which sometimes helps by creating a protective barrier in those exposed areas. I know sometimes it works.
That's the story about the one was the great response to fire. Running is a crime. It takes experience, and the partner, like Ranger, with a wide range of protective brake products.
That's why I trust Hero Ultra High Temperature to store my home. The point of preventive water temperature helps you keep everything up and
you know, brand I trust. Well done. Joe's gravy train sound cabinet. Wall Street Journal says Biden's struggling to make money because no one wants to vote for speaking gigs since he can't speak. Right. He gets 400 a year through pensions, but they have a laugh. His lifestyle is a lot of debt. What you said, I'm surprised that shock stayed. Am I surprised? Let's say I have a bigger cash. Just do exactly. How do you think agent of Joe Biden fits this man? I can't fast and think about how the president, now he was the president as well. As soon as you say speaking is the better probably already asked you questions, yes. But it's basically the market it's like fucking spice. It's not going to be around long. No, it's a limited edition. Yeah, my wife stops at the highlight reel, but she's in the left. You know what I'm saying? Who's going for this one? Don't. Hey, how like? Yeah. And he's not like saying, let's get ready to follow the boxing match. I think I would think they could get more booking before they have a special guest. Yeah, Joe Biden's not over here. Okay, Shakira, let's play. What game is it? Sure. Alright, so you prefer more classic games or video games?
I'm a big one.
Okay, so are you more to mobile or console?
I'm constantly on the move, so it has to be more.
Of course. Okay, so puzzle or mobile?
Definitely puzzle.
And for villains.
Okay, well, that's a cool.
And final question. Do you consider yourself more loyal or metal?
I don't know, so I think I go for.
Okay, Shakira, time for the big reveal. You are... What did you tell me?
Of course I am. That's what I mean. Puzzles know their crimes goals. Equitable helps answer how to achieve them. Our strategies adapt to crime technology needs. We think with thinking. When you're navigating the future, how is such a thing?
Status and get the first. Look at the right? Yeah, British spent the last 3 months working his tail off on a memoir. Yeah. He's still with his tail. And, you know, I started this way. I wrote a book called The Argument. And now everybody wants to write a book. Everybody knows I love this. I love it. Those words, like I know words. The 3 top books are the Old Testament, the New Testament. And now everybody's like, Joe Biden on a book, it's going to be called Harvard Field. I got 2. Where's the Lots of surprises here tonight.
It's just a story to it.
I say that the bugs, he goes to change 4 negative formats, but they're really sick. So what do you got?
Don't settle for cheap, stinky formats. At one time, we make a floor liners and carbonizers here and there. And pure, non-toxic, and nutrient. Oh, I got everything you have at WT.com.
Tell everyone that the reviews will customize the furniture to see. People need the back now. All this is, those fans, so things. Folks,
Chip in the end, close to that. Right. That's right. Right to these ones. All those protocols into fingertips. Listen to that, please. It's pictures. Okay, so much. But they won't think. This book continues while the authors. So many choices to make bad for shopping. Overwhelming. Chaos experts have extensive training on their health and still disadvantage of the mattress. And right now, the mattress plus just makes this $199.95. So the great thing is that this mattress makes for muscle cramps and spasms. Let's go. The early makes it use narrow ones for fast muscle movement. See, Genzo and Absorb Spring for looking. Their work works. Try their works and get back habits. Just to do this, look at me, I got friends. They got ideas. We took some special study. They solved the problem. Buckle up. This one's a ride.
She would never just disappear. This doesn't happen here.
As a past fine. Cash on. Just a very calculated, evil person. I'm going to success. This is the ways to get to the team now proposition. When you try to integrate syrup with the best ingredients on the planet, naturally, quickly to it up, like naturally, you'll see results in just a few weeks. Much better. This isn't hair color. It's a science-backed formula that restores your hair and improves natural color. This green color, you should bring the ingredients that keep everything looking good. Knowledge on how to integrate our color. You get 25% off your order. And great performance to start previously. Hey, cross sleep with the store. It's not easy. This week, every next week, starting at 5 more words. He still calls people fascists. Cyrus, your favorite wrestler, Macho Man, ran by Barnett. She's ahead of me and you better take her.
My collection and this is a collection. This is our collection. This is a collection.
Because it's going to be top note anytime. Because it's a long time. People with a best one will never rate yes. Drum beat, of course, there are always going to be denied. I like drum beat of demonization having any correlation with STD attacks. It's unbelievable. You know, they didn't jump together. I sent my kids to pump school, and they were really have to take them out to pump school because they were they had been kindergarten. My daughter came home from kindergarten. She didn't know anything about politics. We kept politics away from the kids. She went to kindergarten. She watched it. Education. Does that explain everything? Yeah, I think it's really fine. You know, actually, it's something to call somebody back because if it's something sad, yeah, I mean, it's not making sense. I he might tell us he's not here to he wants himself as redundant because he's born redundant and then one is married with that's what he's like. It's like that doesn't make sense. It's like me saying I'm Italian because my mother is labor. It is just like that. So yeah, that we have young children. Have you been thinking like I didn't send over this? Like what do you send them to school? What do you do? Kind of for a little bit.
I just kind of hope that by the time you know that's I short circuit. I had actually short circuits when I from where I got to school. So I just got to home the very small room, big tiny house that the whole entire room was different. Right away, it's like there are people in my neighborhood that are like there's some kids like 8 to 2. Yeah, that far away. The second child out of school in a canvas bed t-shirt, the teacher will be quiet. Alright, stick.
That would ask, I couldn't find people to help. So that was I love the sport, and I got 20 else you guys. True fight deserves a boost.
Still dealing with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease symptoms despite treatment? Put them in check with Revoke. Revoke works differently in its one-stable pill.
When symptoms try to take control, I got back from the check.
Revoke helps repair my intestinal life in 3 checks.
I got lasting steroid condition with Revoke. Check.
Rapid, relief, visible repair of the intestinal life.
And lasting steroid condition. Check, check, and check.
Revoke to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB or blood. Serious infections will cause unfatal. Answers include permanent skin, serious allergic reactions, GI care step, happens from birth. CV events decreases the HPV for the heart disease response. Tell your doctor. Not prevents infection. What you see, smoke, don't take a virgin or have infection. Put your knee and Crohn's check. Then keep it there. With Revoke.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Revoke and learn how happy you can be safe.
Make sure about the process is ready. Some of the combination.
Ultimate vaccine. Clinically studied accuracy of breathing, the most powerful form of vaccine for breathing, also helps relieve sleep, reduce stress, rush to all and find respect the ultimate vaccine today. So listeners will know special report with your should develop the direction of the nation. And you can consider our movie when there's a plus team for you tomorrow. No, I know the days are long and the rain is falling. It is late going through. For a moment, I'd like you to think about how you want to spend the weekend this fall. Relaxing and really watch the game. Or take $10 no. So if you're reach out, talk and talk to the about get ahead of all this possible. Just give us a call. Free inspection. Fine. Process is simple and easy. We'll come up with laser gutters, prepare 4 laser gutters, and install leak gutters. We're America's largest gutter and protection company. Our patented technology is protected for the million homes and leak gutters with a lifetime trade. Let's protect your home, let's protect your wallet, and let's protect your future weekends today. Call 833 Leak Filter or visit leakfilter.com.
She has no idea she's saving money. She doesn't know that if she owns a life insurance policy for $100,000 or more, she can sell all the private country for cash. You got your policy. You got your policy. It's a contract! Find out if you're sitting on the wall. So they don't attract them. So I already know this is fake. Do you know why it's fake? Stop photography.
Okay. Don't go away. We'll be right back. If you contracted COVID and you're experiencing unexplained health symptoms, it could be related to the virus or the advice provided to safeguard this. Here's Dr. Peter McCullough, medical specialist and world-leading authority on pandemic illnesses.
How was people possibly still suffering unexplained symptoms that didn't have COVID? More, you should consider ultimate sweat detox. This clinic is classified to break down the root spectrum inside you and for the first time today outside clinical settings. Ultimate sweat detox is how you get serious about getting that.
Order online and save 50%. Visit TriSpikeDetox.com/Fox15. Promo code Fox15 at TriSpikeDetox.com/Fox15.
Frank Greasy was a fireman for 32 years. He's retired now, but I'm able to fire with great help from friends and boss, and the life he saved along the way. I wanted to know where it comes from. This really is about the game. Everybody else is running.
Smart spirit with it and having danger, but you don't realize it. And then you go out and it not for everybody. And they haven't got it back. Like I said before, it's still around today. But you do.
Frank switched gears all for the same reasons I did. He appreciates where deal and wanted to be in business with a company that shares its values. That's how Flynn you, out there on the street, is the real deal. Just like Frank. I'm proud of that. You switched to a lighter system. It actually stabs yourself. Trips on.
Hey, first coming in, no, I know the days are long and the rain is falling. Hey, it's late growing season. But for a moment, I'd like you to think about how you want to prevent weekends this fall. Well, after the 3 of you watching the game, what would you rather be climbing ladders to clean out clogged gutters or take $1,000 to repair one fascia, only softening from these damage? Probably not. You can have all this fun damage today. Just give us a call to schedule your free inspection. Our install process is simple and easy. So come on, clean your gutters, repair or replace your gutters, and install legal. We're America's largest gutter and gutter protection company. Our patented technology is protected with 1 million homes, and Legal comes with a lifetime transferable warranty. Let's protect your home, let's protect your wallet, and let's protect your future weekends today. Help you create your legal gutter or visit legalgutter.com.
Our last sale of the summer is actually here in Alabama. Take up to 30% in storage until September 22nd. Whether you're relocating to your new home or renovating your current one, don't miss this bigger than ever offer. Save up to 30% today at Vods.com.
Showing to deliver 2 times better blood pressures, plus CoQ10 for big, better heart health. Find total results in heart health at Walmart today. Corruption, power, crime. The stories of the American Mafia are the stories of America itself. Stories of the American Mafia. Streaming now on Fox Nation. And this is America's Lakers on Steve's at Night. Reagan's not the suspect in the Charlie Cook assassination after the secret justice system, making his first court appearance today as prosecutors announced they will in fact seek the death penalty. We'll have that story coming right up. Meantime, an explosive hearing here on Capitol Hill with FBI Director Kash Patel, the hot seat. Lecture Oh boy, something else we have. That's just ahead. While President Trump now taking aim at the New York Times, claiming the newspaper tries to damage his reputation ahead of the 2024 election. The media panel will weigh in on that. And then there is this.
Donald Trump realizes and recognizes that he is likely, almost overwhelmed, like to lose the midterms. And so he's trying to hold on to power.
Projection much. California Democrats are trying to rally support for his measure, but will it work? The California ballot for this moment. The first to back then is like Spanish support in Utah very late on the current assassination of Peter Mann. I go to Utah.
shot. I started with the 100% organic top cotton polo paired with the lean stretch flare jeans and a fine leather form fit with the perfect polish for effortless look. Next, I saw the 100% silk notch collar blouse built with so buff, and the fact that this skirt is under $3 still amazes me. I also paired this skirt with the sports local move, their plastic, versatile, and elevated at topic. And to finish, the oversized lower bomber jacket, timeless, real leather, and simple, everything together. That's what I love about mine. Cotton, real silk, and a fine leather, all at prices that make sense. Premium, sustainable, and free shipping too. 365 days return upgrade your wardrobe today without overspending and shopping.
Now, that exchange, that's the other say Vods will quiz that kill curve anytime it's about the police say that when they shot, they have to So your legends out that they say they also say we found DNA on the trigger. Yeah.
Matt Finley was off tonight at Spanish Court. Thank you for bringing the defense attorney and fellow litigator. Gosh, along with the former media inspector and prosecutor contributor and attorney Paul Moore. Guys, I want to share a little sound to just start here this Jeffrey talking about his motives after this.
As they discussed the situation, Robinson inquired if the shooting in the state just one. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there's too much ego in the guy for Charlie Kirk spreads too much hate.
Paul, this sounds like a textbook case of premeditation. What's your reaction to what you just heard? It is that the premeditation, planning, and then all the recent rumors that took him to Stone include Senate defense in Utah, you essentially have to say that the mental defect raises working, and as a result, he did what he did, but very clearly, he was doing his own plan. Well, he thought he was a lot smarter than he is, and he left all kinds of clues. But very, very clearly here, he knew what he was doing. He did it very cognitively. The intent is established. We have the aggravating factor, and as a state case, this should go forward without any complication. Quite a federal case, a state murder case that should go right now to an information and then get on with the process. I'm just curious though, if we watch cases like this on occasion play out, they come in, they seem cut and dry, and then it doesn't always go that way. But based on what we've learned so far, and you've all alluded to it, this seems pretty straightforward to me.
It does. In this case, you have motive, you have evidence that is corroborated as linking towards the defendant in this case. You have premeditation, and Paul hit the nail on the head. Premeditation flies the face of any claim of insanity, and very importantly, premeditation can be created in a matter of seconds or minutes. It doesn't have to be years or weeks or days of planning. So Paul's right about that. And you also have adoptive admissions and full admissions. I did the crime. This is why I did it. And one thing he didn't here, which is going to be extraordinarily important for the fact finder when it comes time to decide whether Mr. Robinson is going to be put to death or not. Life or death is a lack of evidence. I don't get to here. You know what? I probably shouldn't have done it. Maybe I overreacted. I didn't mean to kill Charlie Kirk. It's almost a sense of pride, a notch in the belt, and that strikes in the face of any argument that he should not be subject to the death penalty of the state of Utah.
Yeah, excellent point, Dean. It just doesn't seem to be right now in the face to get there. Although we'll have to see how it all plays out eventually. Let me share this, gentlemen, and get you both to react before we go into the report. Very important Again, 15 seconds each. It says all of this suggests a political motivation, including gradual radicalization. This makes the murder all the more chilling because the evidence doesn't suggest some, and you alluded to this, Vic, some psychological break that often affects young men at this age. The texts show that even after the murder, Mr. Robinson imagined he could get away with 15 seconds each. First to you. Smarter. All I would say is that how we really get into the rest of the ecosystem online, that sanction is sort of stuff. And when we get to both sides, it's an argument against the right. All I would say is that on the left is much more virulent, it's much better reflected. Consider somebody like Tim Walz, who was almost vice president of this country. There's a point that Donald Trump was alive, but they used that argument and they really need to rise up because you can't have this in this society. Indeed, some may say that the federal government should not be involved. The reality is they are involved. You just pointed out to all our viewers and listeners is, in my opinion, the reason why. Where is this politicization coming from? Who is at the top of the pyramid? And which echo chambers are allowing these conversations to take place? This is outside the purview of any State of the Union and squarely within the purview of the federal government. So they will be involved, and I believe there will be fruits of that investigation. Yeah, they're going to have to really get after some of these organizations, Antifa and the others. At least that's what I'm hearing here in Washington. We'll see how that all moves forward. Gentlemen, thank you for your time tonight. Appreciate it. Meantime, FBI Director Kat Patel vigorously defending his handling of the Kirk assassination investigation and several other Bureau issues in a combative hearing on Capitol Hill today. Suggested you really missed real fireworks. Marianne Rafferty took all in, and she has the latest from Southland for us tonight. Hi, Marianne.
Yeah, I got it. Exchanges like you said on Capitol Hill today as Kat Patel defended the FBI's handling of the Charlie Kirk assassination, including this one with the Democrat Senator Cory Booker.
This may be the last time I have a hearing with you because I don't think you're long for your job.
That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
And the fiery crosstalk didn't end there. Patel traded jabs with Senator Adam Schiff about his handling of Russiagate and January 6th.
To ever sit in the United States Senate and a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised. Continue to lie, run your perch, and put on a show so you can raise money for your charades for a political buffoon at best.
And the double jousting went on, with Patel answering questions from both sides of the aisle, including the Epstein case and the state of the investigation into Charlie Kirk's killer, and the efforts to look into other potential suspects that may have been involved.
Who else may have been on that thread and what they may have known? Is that fair to say?
It's a lot more than that. We're running them all down.
And as the investigation into Kirk's assassination continues, suspect Kyle Robinson's next appearance, set for September 29th, and will remain in custody without bail.
Appreciate that. I want to bring in Republican strategist Luke Paul and Deputy Campaign Director, Communications Director, Michael Craig Sunshine. Again, with you, I'm going to share what is out there. Just going to talk about this idea of site. This happened from the left to the right, but the right been guilty of it too. Not so. Say some lawmakers, including Kathy Schmidt, listen to this.
We've heard years on the left that loudest voices call anyone on the right extremist federal Republicans, fascists, Nazis, an existential threat to democracy. Check yourself. If they'll give you this both sides book,
check yourself before you wreck yourself. What was pointed, I think he makes an outstanding point. It's important to realize that both sides are they have serious abuse, but that's not the case here in 2016 called normals. In 2024 we were called garbage and not called fascist. We're being called villains. And words that help with the violence. And I've noticed that the violence is only going in one direction. Socrates said that the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser, but unfortunately, in today's environment, violence has become the tool of the loser. Marcia, top 10, Caroline, your thoughts?
Yeah, so let's just look at this, right? In the last year, there has only been one political party that has seen presidential candidates survive 2 assassination attempts, had one of their supporters die at a political rally during on the attended the Make America Great Again rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and had a leading political activist slain in broad daylight. That is the Republican Party. And it's also one party in the United States that has a difficult time condemning any kind of violence, that supports soft crime policies in our cities that make violent places, that remain silent when people like Yolena are stabbed by police on the train in North Carolina, and then want to keep violent terrorists in our cities. What do you guys think about that party?
Yeah, and I want to build on that. So here, let me show you a line. This is a Randy Weingarten from Bluff Parks Number. And I want to show this because the title, it speaks to what me and Caroline were talking about here, like fascists, fear teachers. And again, this speaks to this escalation of the rhetoric and real life.
Did you know that your whole team can get urgent care for every unexpected strike? You cheer your heart up. You can just have urgent care. Live on, because we've got a lot.
Ready? So, yes, no answer. Mark Kerr, a man on a mission to be the greatest fighter in the world. But that he's still fighting. Yes.
Upset because of what Hill Hile had to say about Carl, or she's no stranger to controversy on the Hill. But Jeffries feels like this idea of censuring her is maybe a bridge too far. Your reaction to this?
There are many people who have doubled and tripled down on inflammatory rhetoric in the aftermath of killing and assassination of Charlie Kirk. Hold extreme views outside of this institution. And the question that should be asked is, has the president brought the rhetoric down?
Okay, so that's his point, and I think you'll hear that from Caroline, that it's not just one side that's sort of ratcheting up the rhetoric. Your reaction?
I don't think anyone on the side talking to Jeffrey believes that. As I was saying, there is one party in this country that advocates to keep violence criminal illegal immigrants in our country, that advocates for soft on crime policies that make our cities, all Democrat ones by the way, more violent places to live. And the reason the left has a hard time condemning political violence is because condemning violence generally. And I encourage people to remember this heading into the midterms. The best thing you can do to make this country safer and more peaceful is make sure that people like Hakeem Jeffries stay in the minority in Congress. As I said, it's not just condemning political violence that the left has a difficult time with. It's violence.
Helps you sell at every stage of your business. With fast and secure payment, card readers you can rely on, and one place to manage it all, whatever the stage. Businesses that grow with Shopify.
My name is Sophie Allen. I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. Never thought we'd have to use life insurance with Ethos. It is so fast and easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. Check your price today at ethos.com.
J.D. Vance on prime time. In his first interview since Charlie Kirk's death, the lead on the assassination's impact across America. Jesse's must-see one-on-one tomorrow.
Hello, welcome to T-Town. Like Animal 40 everywhere. These guys experience a drop in testosterone. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Some guys took my advice about how to boost their testosterone. And some did. This guy got the message loud and clear. That's right, Eugenics Total T2.
From the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC and Walmart, Eugenics Total T2, packed with even more man-boosting power. It's the next generation testosterone booster that sends nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours. Feel leaner, stronger, and ready for anything with more energy and drive. Get your complimentary bottle by texting LEARN to 231-231.
Thanks. Gonna make you feel like a new man. And by the way, she'll like it too.
New T2 is not available in stores or on Amazon. Get your complimentary bottle now. Text LEARN to 231-231. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Eugenics Thermo X absolutely free. Tired of wasting your money on products that just don't work? That's why new Eugenics Total T2 lets you try before you buy. Just text claim your complimentary sample. Eugenics Total T2. It's the next generation testosterone. Since nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours. Feel leaner, stronger, and ready for anything. With more energy and drive, prove it to yourself. Text LEARN to 231231. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of our newest fat burner, Thermo X, absolutely free.
27 gunned down the biggest supporter and advocate of President Trump because he's MAGA? How does that remotely make any sense? Clearly, Tyler Robinson came from the left. Again, a guy who had a trans boyfriend, a gamer, and literally professed his hatred for Charlie Kirk. But yeah, that totally makes it MAGA. I would hope that Jimmy Kimmel would apologize for this, but that would take integrity and an actual soul, and we know that's not going to happen. Why does he do this sort of thing?
Well, it's not just Jimmy Kimmel. I'm seeing that this is a pervasive view among progressive commentators that have not updated their information in the last 48 hours. You could have said nothing at first, but now we're filling in some gaps in this guy's resume, his ideology. It's overwhelmingly clear. He murdered Charlie Kirk allegedly because of contempt for Charlie Kirk's views, conservative views. So the picture is being painted for you now.
Yeah, it's negligence at best to not already know that if you're Jimmy Kimmel, but clearly he doesn't care. I'm going to wrap it up with this, guys. Truth Social, the precedent, patting this not long ago. I'm getting amazing feedback on my lawsuit against the New York Times. The predominant feeling and sentiment is it's about time the case was filed in the great state of Florida. Radical left media is working hard to destroy the USA. We are going to stop them at each and every level. President DJT. 15 seconds first to you, Robbie. Boy, they got their hands full.
Yes, they do. Donald Trump is very serious about going after enemies in the media who he say have defamed him or libeled him, which is the right that every American has to pursue that same course of action. Democrats don't like it. Well, they have invaded against conservative media and wanted them to do that. So it's good for the good for Gander.
Andrew D. Joe 15. I'm just looking at precedent here, guys, and Donald Trump sues CBS over that 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris, and they were forced to settle. He sues ABC News because George Stephanopoulos called him a rapist 9 times, one interview with Nancy Days, and they were forced to settle. So if Trump thinks he has a case here, his legal team thinks he has a case here, well, based on the record, they probably have a pretty good shot. I think you're probably right, and again, as I mentioned to Katie Zechariah, I think his settle discovery would be brutal when they will settle. That's my prediction. Gentlemen, thank you. the ongoing redistricting battle between California Governor Gavin Newsom and, of course, President Trump, well, that is heating up.
One cannot underestimate the lengths to which he will go to not just rig the midterms, but the impacts, if he's successful, well beyond that.
We'll see about that.
They're just young people, hungry, homeless, and vulnerable. Abused youth often feel safer on the street. Now, more than ever, that's the most dangerous place of all. Covenant House is helping young adults facing homelessness. We're providing safe shelter to thousands, but the need is overwhelming, and no young person is ever turned away. Please call and go online now with your gift of $19 a month to help a young person. You'll provide safe shelter, hot meals, and medical care. Your gift will show them they're loved. Homeless young people are afraid and alone with nowhere else to turn.
We want to know that there's somewhere you can go that's safe. So the Covenant House did that for us.
Please call now with your gift of $19 a month. We'll send you this blanket as a reminder